The Earth has been home to some strange and wonderful creatures, from the giraffe to the electric eel. But arguably one of the most extraordinary animals currently living on our planet is the octopus. And this might be a controversial statement, but in many ways the octopus is probably the closest thing that we have on Earth to an alien. Stick with me until the end of the video and I'll explain exactly what I mean. Hi, it's me and this is my channel. There are over 200 species of octopus living in the world's oceans today. These creatures can be found at great depths and in almost every sea and ocean on Earth, from the Arctic to the Antarctic. Despite their abundance, however, for a long time, very little was known about octopus behavior because they are so elusive and solitary. And the first recorded scientific description of a living octopus wasn't published until 1801. Even today, there is still much that we don't know about these animals, but what we do know is truly fascinating. For example, did you know that the octopus is one of the smartest animals on Earth? Some scientists even claim that they are the smartest invertebrates on our planet. Octopuses are capable of escaping from dangerous situations by opening jars and can even figure out how to get out of mazes and retain that knowledge for up to 2 years. When faced with a predator, octopuses have also been documented using their environment to fool their predators, such as by creating shelters out of rocks or by burying themselves in the sand. In fact, when hunting, octopuses often use their natural environment to disguise themselves by changing both their color and texture to match the surrounding environment. They do this by controlling specialized pigment cells called chromatophores, which contain sacs full of color. When an octopus decides to change color, it essentially squeezes these sacs to either release or retract their pigment. By doing this, octopuses can not only camouflage themselves, but can also communicate with each other by flashing different colors and patterns. And just as impressive as their color-changing abilities are their shape-shifting skills. While most people wouldn't describe an octopus as particularly beautiful, they are extremely versatile. With their flexible tentacles, octopuses can squeeze through tiny gaps and have even been known to completely change their shape to fit into new surroundings. In fact, octopuses have no bones at all. Their bodies are soft and squishy, allowing them to literally mold themselves into any space that they choose to inhabit. But the incredible abilities of the octopus don't stop there. They are also skilled hunters. As I mentioned earlier, they are known to build shelters and ambush their prey. However, some octopuses hunt by using a technique called piracy, where they basically steal food that has already been captured by another animal. Octopuses have even been documented using tools to help them hunt, such as coconut shells that they drag along the seafloor to disorient their prey before striking. But perhaps the most remarkable thing about the octopus is its brain. Unlike most animals on Earth, the majority of an octopus's nerve cells aren't contained within a single centralized brain, but are actually spread out throughout their entire body. This means that each of their arms kind of has its own mini brain, which allows the octopus to do things like solve mazes more quickly than their predators can find the maze. It also means that if one part of their body gets damaged, the rest of the octopus will still be able to function normally. And while this may seem like a positive adaptation, it does pose some problems. Because the brains of octopuses are so decentralized, studying them is incredibly difficult, since researchers don't know where exactly the cognitive processes that they are interested in are taking place. It also makes training an octopus to perform simple tasks very challenging, since an octopus doesn't really have a centralized nervous system to send signals to. Some scientists even go so far as to say that the octopus defies the laws of evolution. This is because traditionally we think of nervous systems as evolving in a centralized way, meaning that as animals evolved, their nerve cells migrated from being located all over their body to being concentrated in a central area, which allowed for more complex behaviors. But the octopus seems to have evolved in reverse. If you think about it, it makes sense why an octopus would want its brains to be decentralized. Since they are so squishy and vulnerable, having multiple brains allows them to keep their vital functions running even if part of their body gets bitten off by a predator. Of course, this is just speculation, but it's a fascinating look into the amazing adaptations of these alien-like creatures. Now I want to ask you a question. Is it possible that the reason that the octopus seems so alien-like because it really is so incredibly unique? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out another recent video that I uploaded on a similar topic. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new. And as always, remember to keep an open mind.